Boom. I want to share a story from one of my favorite weeks of my time in the military. Every day of SEAL training is hard, as you can imagine. You're cold, wet, sandy, miserable the entire time. Attrition rate, which means the people that don't make it through, is 75, 80% of the folks that show up don't get to the finish line. But out of all those weeks, there is one week that rules them all, and it's called Hell Week. You've probably heard about Hell Week before. If you haven't, I don't want to lose you for the story. You've been at the program for almost 2 months, 2.5 months. You're broken, beat down. There are probably 100 people that have already quit the program before you even get to this week, and then they throw this thing at you. So Hell Week starts on a Sunday night. You know when it's coming. It's planned. It's not a surprise. It starts on Sunday night. It goes to Friday. You are on a 24-hour clock as you go through that entire week of training. 3 sets of instructors run that shift of training. You start on Sunday night, you end on Friday. You get no sleep. You go on a 24-hour calendar, at least until Wednesday. I think Wednesday morning, maybe you get an hour and a half nap. If you knew what you were going to feel like after you took that nap, you would skip it. Get another nap on Thursday. And from Thursday to Friday mid-morning, midday is when you secure and Hell Week. From kind of Thursday mid-afternoon through to Friday morning, that's where a lot of the famous hallucinations and people just kind of falling apart happens. You are just a zombie running on vapor fumes, leaning on your teammates, them leaning on you to just work your way through that last 20 some odd hours to get to the finish line. But fun stories come out of that because insanity takes place in those couple hours before you see the finish line. And one of the final evolutions, you're constantly doing what we call evolutions or skills or drills that you do that are preset to work through a problem or elicit a response or teach you something. And so you're always going through evolutions throughout the day. There's basically close to final evolution, which is called around the world. So you've got to paddle these rubber boats, no engine. You're paddling, 3 paddlers on both sides of the boat, officer or senior enlisted in the back, steering, calling cadence, getting through the surf. And you basically paddle around all of Coronado Island. So there's a land bridge, a sand kind of land bridge. So you'll start on the ocean, you'll paddle from, almost Mexico up into the mouth of San Diego Bay, all the way around till you come back down to where you started. We have these mud flats down there. We have this horrific couple hours shivering and feeling like you're going to die in there. And then pretty quickly, you'll work your way up towards the compound and you just pray to see the commanding officer, a big American flag telling you it's over. But when you're on that paddle, when you're paddling around the island, you stop every couple hours. The instructors have a car on the beach with the lights facing out. You come in. Every single segment is a race. Everything in SEAL training is a race. But it pays, as we say, it pays to be a winner. So if you win a race, you usually get to get dry. Sometimes they give you a little extra food. Maybe an instructor that likes it gives you a candy bar or something cool, but usually you'll be sitting out of the water. The second post boat comes in. They might get half rations of that, be out of the water, but have to have their boat closer. The third place boating down, they'll probably be sitting in the water. They don't get out, so it pays to be a winner. I was lucky in that I had a really powerful boat team, and so we won most of those races. But I remember on one race, we're getting ready to take off. We're about to come into San Diego Bay, and one of my best buddies in the teams, who I think has become an absolute legend for all the right reasons, is up on my left. He's an officer, so people in his boat quit, so he moved into my boat. And all of a sudden, we're just paddling in a very steady rhythm, just moving our way. We've got a good lead. And all of a sudden, my buddy, I don't know if I should use the name, but I think I actually put it in the book. People know him. He's one of the all-time great people. He wouldn't even care. Woody is his name. He starts paddling like double time. I mean, paddling so hard that the entire boat is starting to jerk to the right. And I'm, oh, what are you doing? He's like, we got to go. We got to go right now. And I was like, I got it. Let's put some steam on, but what's going on? He's like, we got to outrun that thing. Let's go. And I said, what? And he's like, that clown on the bicycle is gaining on us. Now, we're on the ocean and we're gliding across it. Now, I didn't see a clown, but I was tired enough that I turned around to check to see if there was a clown, because that's how punchy I was. He saw that clown. I didn't, but he's like, let's move. And then we just took it as an opportunity to go even faster. So I was like, everybody pick up this pace. Clown's on our tail. Let's go. We come flying into San Diego Bay. At the exact same time, I'm trying to work out if there is a clown or not a clown. We're going past an aircraft carrier, and now a guy on the right side of my boat starts paddling hard the other way. And I said, what's going on with you? We dealing with another clown? He's like, no, that aircraft carrier's rolling over. It's going to it's going to swamp us. Aircraft carriers do not tip over in port. So I'm trying to work that out. And then my only version of hallucinating that week was as we made our way into the bay, the Coronado Bridge goes over from basically downtown San Diego out to Coronado Island. And obviously there's all the bridge stanchions or pilings that support that bridge. And I remember as I'm looking down the bay, I think I see a fence that's going across the bay. Now, we spent an unbelievable amount of time on San Diego Bay, and there aren't fences in bays. But I remember seeing this fence, and I was like, man, I committed real energy to like figuring out how we're going to work and deal with this fence. Like, well, we could all get out of the boat and push it over the fence. Maybe my buddy Matt and I are strong enough to like pull the boat under the fence, and we'll get it through and get going. And really, I committed a bunch of time and energy to this fence. There proved to be no fence. I think it was just my eyes being so tired, seeing those stanchions and creating a fence in my mind. But we finish, we get around the corner, and we make our way into the bay and finish that week. I don't have a huge lesson in this other than recently a friend called me and said, man, I'm having a hard time sleeping. I'm not getting good night's sleep. And I was like, what are your days consist of? He's doing a lot of work and things like that. But I was like, are you exhausted at the end of the day? And he's like, no, I'm not exhausted. I'm, not getting time in for workouts. I was like, well, that might be your problem. Get up a little bit early, do an extra workout. When you're done with your day's work, go on a run or go push yourself into a, complex or where you do push-ups till you can't get it done. I can almost guarantee you're going to fall asleep. If you don't, skip a night of sleep, go 24 hours. I guarantee you the next day you're going to sleep well. It's fun to be pushed into a situation where tired takes on a completely different meaning. If you haven't been there, push yourself there. I promise you, you'll gather great lessons from it and appreciate it. Ever onward.